Hello and welcome back to this vlog series called Writing a Book with ADHD. I'm Alex, founder of Reset ADHD. I'm writing a book and I have ADHD. How's that going to work? We find out in this vlog video. So, check out the first video if you haven't already. It's got a lot of explanation on why I'm doing this and the purpose of this vlog series. This video is just going to be about my progress since the last video. And it's going to be shorter because we don't have the long introduction. So, let's dive into it. My word count. Last time it was 3,917. This time, 5,594. Haven't done as much writing as I would have liked. Part of that is I got sick last weekend and kind of into this week, so it just derailed me a bit. It got me out of my groove, and I just felt like not writing as much. But I know at a certain point I need to start writing more. In talking with my mentor coach, he was like, give yourself enough time with this project to have it reach critical mass. And the way he was describing critical mass is, to me, was just to give it enough space and time to where I get hooked, It starts to feed itself. And this week I didn't do that. But again, I was sick. I don't think it was anything ADHD-wise that really prevented me from not writing more. I mean, it could have been, because ADHD makes you want to not do the thing when the thing is something you should be doing. I've had time to write, I just haven't. So I talked to my mentor coach, and I was hoping to get structure from that call. Did I get structure from that call? No. That's not a bad thing, though. What I got from that call was really helpful. So, we talked about kind of the through line of this story and what's that going to be. I know basically two aspects of this book that are going to be deeply intertwined, but how do I make that into a book? And one of the exercises he gave me was to just come up with a title and see if that title drives something forward. It doesn't have to be the final title of the book. It's just providing direction. Because ultimately, if I sell this to a publisher, they're gonna want to look at the name and figure out, is this how we market this book? So, I'm not worried about the title right now, but I'm coming up with title ideas so that I can have an idea of what I'm writing. Does that make sense? I hope it does. It makes sense to me, which is really all that matters, because I'm the one writing this book. Hopefully you're writing your own projects along with me. So the exercise he gave me is this. Write a story from one perspective and then write the same story from a different perspective. And I found that to be ironic because a few days prior I was at a poetry workshop, and that was an exercise we got in the poetry workshop, was to write your poem and then write it again from someone else's perspective. That was a good exercise in writing the poem. It created a better poem, in my opinion. So we're going to try that out with this book, write from two different perspectives, and see how that plays out. It might turn into a key part of the book. Two different perspectives. Could be really interesting to see where that leads me. Have I done that yet? No, but I've been sick. Also, Jay gave me a really good comparison to Lord of the Rings with my story. So, that might come up. I'm writing nonfiction, but this piece of fiction that is the Lord of the Rings that came up in our discussion, I think is a great way to look at the story I'm telling. I'm going to use that in some way. I don't quite have it all figured out yet how that's going to come together, but it's going to be helpful, I think. Last time I talked about reaching out to people for their perspective on the story I'm writing. Heard back from a few of them. There's two of them. And then a third person reached out and said, I'm going to do this eventually. So, and then I had my first session with a writers group this week. That was exciting because just talking with people about writing kind of gets me inspired to write. So I'm hoping as we go forward with this writing group, it inspires more writing. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Hope you've enjoyed this video. It's longer than I thought it was going to be. But hey, you never know what's going to happen when you're writing a book with ADHD. So thanks for watching. Have a good one.